What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Peter Parkour.
And I'm the real Jussy, and we are the Distorted Theorists.
So it's always with so. It's always with so.
Well, it's so exciting because we are fresh out of
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Oh man, it was so good.
This is honestly the best Marvel movie since No Way Home.
You said that as soon as the credits start rolling.
I said it was because, in my opinion, the best Marvel movie. I don't care, anyone can shake me. Endgame, Infinity War, whatever. No Way Home, Spider-Man's my guy, and everything. But there's been taglines that have been going around. This is the most important and best Marvel movie since Endgame. Yeah. And I mean,
you can see the elements of that. I've felt anyway. Also, probably one of the craziest, awkward craziest, funny craziest Marvel movies, I think.
It's a complete movie. This is the swan song for James Gunn exiting the Marvel universe and obviously going to be heading over the DCU.
He's heading over that way.
That right there. Well, he had
nothing to do with it, but I mean he might have something to do with it now.
Yeah.
But I digress.
But for James Gunn to actually go from Guardians 1, Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3 into this was I don't want to say it's his magnum opus or anything like that. The first act, little janky. Second act, really kind of hold everything together. And I don't want to say it's a perfect third act, but it's
really good. And no particular act, but I cried due to CGI, which I never thought I would do. Mr. Pete, be honest, I seen a tear in your eye at a part in the movie.
There are a few times myself and my wife, who's just off camera, we recently just got a puppy, so there's a few things that
I knew.
Our heartstrings.
And I think this movie was way more emotional than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a lot more laughs, that hard-hitting action, which it was, but the emotion ran through like even more than probably No Way Home, maybe just as much as Infinity War, which I was very surprised at because I didn't think they were going to tug on the old heartstrings, but man, the way the way they handled it was so tasteful for a Guardians movie.
And the cast was great too. Like for those who know me well, I'm not the biggest fan of Chris Pratt.
True. He has said that on the channel before, ladies and gentlemen.
And it's not that I particularly dislike him or anything like that. It's just I find that he kind of plays the same character in the majority of movies that he's in. However, I did find myself rooting for him a lot in this movie. Zoe Saldana as Gamora. She's in the trailer, so not spoiling anything.
Well, I guess I just feel like my takeaway from playing off what you just said is that I felt like every character in the movie got their own spotlight in the movie,
their own arc, and it was complete throughout the entire.
Some of the Guardians, yes, they're all the Guardians of the Galaxy, but let's call space spades. Some get more, limelight than others. But I felt like this movie actually let everyone have a little arc within the arc, and you really see why they are a part of the Guardians and why they're so integral to the story and what made the Guardians of the Galaxy a team.
But I want to talk about this so much more
with spoilers, but obviously we're not going to do that.
We can't do that. But the action was well deserved. The camera movements, whether they were visual effects or
in the third act, there was definitely some great action sequences where the camera just rotated and followed all the movements and the hits and the shoots. And I was like, that's pretty dope how they weaved that all together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pete, I do have a question for you. After watching Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, where do you think the narrative goes from here? Not just with the Guardians, but as the Marvel Cinematic Universe as a whole.
I don't know, because
watch what you're saying.
Was almost a self-contained Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't Ant-Man, this isn't the Black Panther, where there's going to be a bigger tie to anything else. I think this was just, like I said, it was they brought James Gunn back and they went, all right, you're done, finish telling your story, and then.
And you can almost tell, again, no spoilers, but you can tell when someone takes up the mantle of the next Marvel movies after this one, or Guardians, if there ever is another one. They will let them make it their own, is what I'd like to leave with without spoiling too much, because I think, is this the last of all these characters? Probably not. Is it the last of some? Most definitely.
Well, you don't know that. I think we're still going to. We've heard that this is going to be the last on-screen iteration of this team. I think we're going to see very many of these characters. We're going to see Nebula. We're going to see Groot. We're going to see whoever. We're going to see Drax. We're going to see them in.
We're just being careful what we say. Don't think we're stumbling over our words. We're just articulating and thinking and making sure not to spoil anything for you viewers. But still, at the same time, whetting their appetite for wanting to come see this movie. They definitely got to come see this movie. any Marvel movie we always get out to see. You guys know that. But like
And
Peter
some
said,
people call us out for not knowing their stuff about DC stuff.
but you know
and-
what? Like you said, this may be, and I'll say maybe because everyone's got their own opinion. This may be the best Marvel movie since Endgame, so there is no reason not to come out to theater to see this.
Since
And-
no way home.
yeah, and
No,
since
no.
no way. True. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm interested to see where it goes. And once we get to the Kang Dynasty and we get to the Secret Wars, where does all these pieces connect? Is still what we're working towards. I don't know.
I don't know, and this is gonna be my hot take.
Yep.
I don't care. Because the movies are still. This is where it gets a little sappy. These Marvel movies. And anything else that we're coming to see, Flash, Indiana Jones,
The Marvels, right there.
The Marvels, Rise
All
of the
on
Beast,
the great
these ones
lineup.
out, they're still a way for everyone to connect.
Yeah.
Black Widow was the first Marvel movie that brought everyone together after the world fell apart, and to hear everyone in the theater talking about the movie beforehand, talking about the Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
Still no one recognizes the Distorted Theorists, which is okay. We're not there
But
yet.
they will.
But I don't care where the Marvel Universe goes as long as it's in a positive direction.
Fair.
I don't care if they're going to start talking about the weird and wonderful and all that stuff as long as it's entertaining.
Yeah.
And if it's entertaining to the masses and that's all we need, really and truly. I don't need to see
Big hoopla.
No,
get the story. We need the story. We know Marvel got the money to give us the big, shiny, bright action sequences and all the cool jazz. But make the story now start to mean something. You know what I'm saying? But before we take it out, I do want to know, because we often talk positive about the Marvel stuff. I want to know what's one negative about this movie that you'd like to leave the fans with. I'll go first if it helps. Leave you think.
For sure.
I'll tell you what. My biggest takeaway in a negative light of this movie is the big bad guy didn't really do it for me.
I loved him.
Really?
He was
I don't know.
self-contained. It was a one-off.
It
I thought he
was,
fantastic.
but I don't know. He just didn't grab me. It was all about the other working parts that I enjoyed more. But that was just my opinion.
I thought the villain was fantastic in this because it really made me feel throughout that I just wanted to kick him square.
His
in the
motive
face.
was very blatant, so I see where you're coming from.
Every time he was on screen, he owned it. He did.
All right. Well, guess what? Difference of opinion. That's why we got two of us on the channel.
I found that, so where I was mentioning that the first act was a little janky, I found that the kind of how are we going to start this was just a little bit
Shoved.
it
little
worked out
forced.
in the end because
Yeah.
it ended up bringing everything together.
Yeah.
But it just felt a little wooden starting
fair
off, but then once we got into okay,
Once
now
it got
we're-
its footing, it basically
Yeah.
took off. But I mean, that's all we really got to say. All we can say without spoiling it for you guys. As always, if you enjoy our reviews and our reactions, if you could hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, we always appreciate it. You good?
I think so.
And with that, I am the real Jussy.
I am Peter Quill, and like we always say around here,
Keep it real.